France is an extraordinary country on the western side of Europe. Europe has many other great countries such as Italy, Switzerland, and Spain in it. Its western border is the Bay of Biscay. By the North Sea, in the northwest is the English Channel. France has many borders. Some of the borders are Belgium and Luxembourg in the north. In the east, Germany, Switzerland, Mediterranean Sea, and Spain. Located in the south, France shares the border maritime with the United Kingdom. There are many eye-catching things in France, but most people notice the wonderful land features such as mountains. The Alps are normally placed into two. The Northern Alps is the area that the highest mountains are. These mountains include the Almeric Peak and Mont Blanc. The Alps give guests many activities to participate in. Some of these activities are hiking and skiing. The other part of the Alps is the Southern Alps. It is really cold and barely sunny. As in the North Alps, the South Alps have many fun activities. These are national parks. Something that many enjoy at the national parks is the different scents that you are able to smell off of a bear's footprint. There are several mountains that are unique with different textures, peaks, slopes, and ages. Puy de Dôme in France is the tallest point at 1,885 meters. It has a really steep slope and bumpy edges. It is just like other peaks in Massif Central. It is a very hard mountain to get up. There are stairs that lead you up, or you are able to take a cable car. Puy de Pario is a very small volcano and it is 8,000 years old. It is a highland for its activity in the region. Puy de Dôme and Puy de Pario are popular for their water area. They are 1,290 meters above water. It is common for people to hike up. France is surrounded by two gorgeous blue seas that highlight France. The two seas that surround France are the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. The oceans show the history in France and Europe because of how open the oceans are. Lakes are super important to France because most lakes are surrounded by villages or places people enjoy visiting. Lake Geneva separates France and Switzerland. It is eye-opening for the blue water and ripples in some areas. In other areas, the water is so still it looks like glass. Lake Geneva is surrounded by the Alps, which gives outstanding views. In Western Europe, many people like to bring their rowers and yachts to race. Many people take their boats here because they like to see the medieval castle, which is on shore. On the shore of Lake Geneva, there are towns, villas, and vineyards. You may see celebrities because it is a popular place for them to visit. There are very steep mountains that start in water. If you look around, you are able to see small hills with man-made lakes near. This lake was made in 1960 from the cause of a flood. Villages had to be flooded for this lake to form. Many people take their opportunity to camp around the lake. Many people choose not to go camping during September because of the weather. Lie in their second city. It is by the border of Switzerland. It has one of the largest populations in the world with 500,000 people. Lyon is known to have amazing food and priceless land features. Many rivers in France have wonderful water that is priceless to see. The Rhone River is the largest river in France using depth and volume. It flows through many places including the Alps, Massif Central, and Lyon. Rhone is a really popular river because it looks like a lake. Some rivers in France have a current that is very swift, which is something tourists love to see. Many people enjoy taking boat tours down the river. Along Rhone, you will get to see big sunflowers and lavender. The Eiffel Tower is one of the most famous landmarks in the world. There are many remarkable things including the steelwork and metal designs. There are also wonderful skylines. This is a breathtaking and interesting structure people call the Iron Horse. People love the different levels. At the top of the Eiffel Tower is a place to dine and see the outstanding landmarks from a high-up view. You can also dine in lower areas, but you are not able to get the same view as high up. People from all around go and visit France for their wonderful cities with such great history, land features, food, and entertainment. Paris is the largest city in France with a total population of 2.2 million citizens. Paris is also the capital of France. Even better, Paris has 16 million people from all over the world to come and experience Paris. Paris has a huge economy because of the population and visitors. Paris has great food and tourism. It is ranked super high in the world for one of the best places to go tour. Water areas are something that no tourist can ever pass up when they visit France. Water lines in France bring many tourists because of the beautiful blue water. Côte d'Azur has a wonderful coastline in France. They even have this coastline named after the Mediterranean Sea because of how wonderful the water is. It is also known as the French Riviera, which borders Italy. Many people who visit the beach during the summer love this coastline. Many rich people visit here to drive their yachts on the water during the summer. In France, many different places catch tourist eyes, including St. Michel. St. Michel is on the coast of Notre Dame and has wonderful landmarks. There is a pyramid on this site that many people love to go see. When there is a low tide, it is easy to walk over, but when there is a high tide, it is impossible to walk over. The most popular attracting thing in St. Michel is the Archevent archives. Art is something that brings many tourists' attention when they visit France. There are many famous art pieces in France. Many museums in France attract tourists from all over the world. The French kings and the fine arts attract many people to the museums that carry these pieces. There are many famous artists' paintings in the museums. Many more pieces have been added to museums all over France. It's amazing how strong France's imports are. They represent 3.7% of global imports and have a total amount of $17.778 trillion. France imports $538 billion. Most of French imports are from European countries. Some of these countries are Italy and Spain. France's top imports have a large value. The strongest imports for France are mineral fuels, vehicles, and iron steel. France has a very stable export system. In 2017, France imported $538 billion. The exports that provided France with the largest amount of money are panels, helicopters, and spacecrafts. The top countries that France exports to the most are Germany, Italy, and Spain. Holidays and traditions in France have similarities and differences than what we do in America. In France, they celebrate Christmas like some of us here as Christians. They have lots of decorations, lots of bright lights, and celebrate with their family and friends. Another holiday that France celebrates is Labor Day. They celebrate it on May 8th, which in Europe was when people got out of hostile in World War II. France celebrates Bastille Day, the celebration of the French Revolutionary War. People in France dress very differently than in America. French men and women wear very formal clothes. When Americans visit France, they tend to feel very undressed. In France, they wear well-fitting clothes. French cannot wear sweatpants and oversized t-shirts like us. They are only allowed to wear these things if they are in their own house. French are people who wear very elegant things that cover their body. Catholics are very popular in France, but there are also a lot of Muslims too. Most of France belongs to the Roman Catholic faith. Many people worship and participate. Many people who immigrate from North America to France are Muslims. Most Muslims live in southeastern France. During 2004, the government affected Muslims by not allowing them to wear their religious symbols, such as their scarves that they wear on their head. Many young or working people do not have a large religious belief. Soufflé to France means an egg dish. The soufflé dish can be eaten savory or sweet. A popular dish in France is chocolate soufflé. French onion soup originated in France, and it contains onions, chicken broth, and melted cheese on the top. A long time ago, this dish was given to those who were poor. France gets a lot of credit for their art. They have many different artists who have many masterpieces in their museums. One of these artists is Claude Monet. Claude Monet was born in France and became a very famous artist with several pieces in the museums in France. In most of these museums, there are several masterpieces. The French Revolution had a large impact on France, from the economic struggle to having to fight for so long. There were so many different stages to this war. The first stage was when they met with the states to talk about their harvest problems. The last stage was when the Directory, which was the election that led to the first council. In the end, French ended up gaining the legislative power and the executive power. France gave us something that everyone loves to see in New York, the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty was a tribute to America when they helped France. America helped France during the French Revolution and helped them defeat Great Britain and Spain. This wonderful piece shows us how much that help meant to France. The Statue of Liberty was a symbol to show justice and democracy. The statue started off as an idea and then was moved to action. This helped many people store their reputation.